guys, welcome back to Freedom in a Budget and another Dumping Debt Friday video. I have some awesome questions here for you guys this week. I'm so excited to dig right in, and the questions are piling in. It's so exciting to have more and more questions each week to go over with you. So if you have a question from you, please leave it down below in the comments, and I will be happy to answer it in the next coming Dumping Debt Friday video. And if it's not the next one, just stay tuned, it'll be coming. I have them all saved in a Word document. So the first one is from yolandaprince, and she asks, can you share this template with calculations so that those interested can use it? So this was on one of my budget report card videos, and I actually have a whole tutorial, which I'll link down below, of how to create your own budget, and it goes step by step by step of every single step that you have to do to create it, how some of the formulas work, my tips and tricks in Excel, and just how to go about that. So that is the link down below. The reason why I'm doing it that way rather than just sharing my spreadsheet, which is what I did in the beginning, is for me at least, and so many other people, it really becomes your own when you take the time and effort to create it yourself. And if you're not an Excel person, it's okay. You can still follow it. You can still understand how to do it. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me a message or leave a comment down below of the video, and I will be happy to answer it or go into more detail with you. But if you're just using a Excel spreadsheet and typing in the numbers, you may just last like a month or so, and it's not going to stick. So that's my tip and trick on that. So it'll be linked down below in the description box. There's a whole playlist. There's 4 videos. CEOBYDESIGN asks, just wondering, why are you budgeting together? In FPU, I recall Dave saying that not to combine finances until you are married. My fiance and I have been together for 5 years and live together, but we have separate finances and budgets. When we went to FPU together and have long-term financial plans to keep everything but separate for now. So I completely agree. I think this is one of my previous Dumping Debt Friday videos where I was asking or answering a question about Jamie and I's budget and different things like that. So we have completely separate budgets, and Jamie is only, I would say maybe 70% on board with the Dave Ramsey plan, and he doesn't keep a budget yet. And he probably won't until we get married and I keep it for the both of us. So we have completely separate finances. Now we do talk about financial things. We are completely open with how much we make, how much is in each other's bank accounts, and different things like that. And also, if we have to make a big purchase, anything over $50, we consult with the other person. Just because it's going to be affecting us in the long term. And if we want to make like a stupid purchase, or I want to go out and buy $200 jeans, which I don't have any $200 jeans, but say I want to go out and buy $200 jeans, Jamie can be like, really, Kelly, you really need $200 jeans? You can go to Marshall's and get some $20 jeans, or you can find a sale at American Eagle and get some $20 jeans, something like that. So it's just really keeping each other accountable in that. And a lot of the times, you know, his purchases are a little bit bigger because of his line of work, and he has to go out and buy production things and whatnot. And, you know, I'll weigh it, and most of the time I'm like, okay, that's a valid purchase. Go ahead and get it. But we're just getting in that habit now before we're married of consulting each other in it. So I agree 100% separate finances until you're married. Destinee P asks, I'm so excited to start the cash envelope system. Finding you on YouTube is what first pushed me to do it. Oh my gosh, I love that. Right now I get paid bi-weekly from both of my jobs, and with how they line it up, it is almost like I'm paid every week. I got accepted to the Disney college program. That's so cool. And I will be going there at the end of the month, and I will be getting paid weekly. I feel because of how I get paid right now, it is easier to do a bi-weekly budget compared to a monthly budget, since I don't get paid on the same exact dates every month. Do you have any tips on how I could switch to from a bi-weekly budget to a monthly budget? So I've never done a bi-weekly budget. I've only done monthly budgets. I just started doing bi-weekly cash envelope systems and just stuffing them every 2 weeks, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Not because I haven't been using it, but just sometimes it does get a little old when you've been doing the cash envelope system for so long, and you know, you just kind of want to mix things up a little bit to stay going and to stay, like, keep that spark alive. So it all depends on, like you said, you get paid bi-weekly. What I would do if I were you is to add a column in your budget. If you're doing Excel, the easiest way to do would be to add a column and say due date of when it is, and put in all of the due dates. And then you may have to go online to different companies to rearrange when some of the due dates are, like rearrange when your electric bill gets paid or this or that. And for me, my biggest payment that comes out is my rent. So my rent and my tithe are the biggest ones that come out. And so I have those set up so that they go out the first of the month. And then all of my other ones, they're getting paid later in the month, anywhere from the 15th to the 30th. So they're getting paid with my second paycheck because I get paid every single month from the 13th and the 30th. So I would do that. And then also I would set up a buffer in your checking account. I have $1,000 buffer. So I know that when it's, I don't know, $3,000, I really have $2,000 in there. That's my mindset. I always subtract $1,000 when I'm looking at it. And that way, if something does happen or some bills do come out later or at different times, you're not getting hit with overdraft fees. And I used to get so many overdraft fees. It was terrible. But once I started doing the Dave Ramsey plan, I haven't gotten a single one since I started because of that buffer and because I'm actually having my bills on my Excel spreadsheet. And so they're marked off paid, or I don't put in the amount until they're actually getting paid, until they come out of my checking account. They're all automatic withdrawal. And so I don't have to worry about, oh, did this one get paid, or is that going to cover it, in different things like that. So if you're using every dollar or paper, it may be a little bit more difficult to add in that extra column of due date, but if you're doing Excel, do that. So if that doesn't make sense, please leave me another comment or send me an email and I'll be happy to go into more detail with that for you. Next question is Nancy Moidrag. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Hi, I love this system. Do you allocate money for birthday gifts, wedding cards, etc.? I can't not buy gifts for family when it comes to their birthdays. I also buy books for my friends' kids for Christmas. Do you have an envelope copay for doctors? I have small kids and there's lots of things that we can't avoid. Cold meds, prescription meds, copays for doc visits, etc. Please advise, thanks. So I have a couple of categories. I have my Christmas category in my budget. I don't have cash envelopes for these, but I do have sinking funds, and they're all stored in my Capital One 360 account, and then I can just transfer money over as I need it. Or a lot of times what I do is I'll subtract that from the amount that I'm going to be paying in my sinking funds. It's a little confusing the way that I explained that, but I have a video coming up of how I finalize a month's budget, and that'll go into more detail of that. But I have a Christmas sinking fund, which your kids, your friends' kids' Christmas books, that would come out of that. Along with all your other Christmas gifts. And also I do Christmas expenses. So if I'm traveling home for Christmas, that's coming out of that budget. So my flights, my baggage costs, food while I'm there, that's all coming out of the Christmas budget. And then I have a gifts category. And so that is coming out of like birthday gifts. Those are more gifts for Jamie. Since I do usually have such a big side hustle, sometimes the gifts, I'll just cash flow them and I won't take them out of my sinking fund because I have something else coming up later in the year that I want to save that for, or it's just easier just to take out the $20 from that month's budget. And then I do have a medical sinking fund, which I've used before when I burned half of my right side of my body with boiling water. I spent, I think it was like $100 with copays and medicine and all sorts of gauze and stuff. So that's the medical sinking fund. So you can do cash envelopes if you want, or you can do the sinking fund, which is what I prefer, but both work just as good. Last question is from DF Soldier, or J Santiago, and he asked, what is one thing I'm reluctant to stop is my IRA contributions. I only save $200 split between my IRA and my wife. I currently save $50 for each of my kids. We have a good income right now, and I don't think it will speed up this snowball. What do you think? So this is a very, very, very controversial subject in the Dave Ramsey world. Is 401ks, and do you stop them? Do you continue them even if you get an employee match? Dave says no. You do not stop. You do not contribute to them. you stop all of it until you are on that baby step and putting 15%. So I don't do that. That is the one thing that I do not do of Dave Ramsey. I still contribute money to my 401k. I have it set up that this past year I contributed 1%, and then my company, they're up to 6%, but only at a 50% rate. So max, if you're contributing 6%, they will only do 3 because it's only 50% of that. So this year I did 1% and they matched a 0.5%. And I have it set up that I will automatically do another percent the next year. So this coming year for 2017, I'm going to do 2% and they'll match a full 1%. But with my job, I get a 3% raise every single year. So every January, so this coming January 15th, when I get my check, it's going to be 3% higher. So in my eyes, I just calculate it as a 2% raise. So I forget about that other 1%. So it's a 2% raise because the other is going to 401k. So to me, I'd rather have that money in my 401k than the, $20 a month on my snowball. So that's really a personal decision, and how far along you are in your contributions, what kind of interest rate you have on your IRA, your company match, different things like that. That's all things that you want to consider in your decision with this. So that is the questions that I have for this week. Please leave your questions down below and I will be sure to answer them in a future Dummy That Friday video. And I'll talk to you later.